All right. Well. Hello, dear ones. We've made the channel very nervous today, for he does not know what we are going to speak about. And usually we give him a clue about the dynamic, and we haven't this time. So let us begin by saying that this is SOTUesday for the 12th of the 12th, yes, the
Yes.
12th of July, 2016. We are actually recording this on 7/11 on the 11th. Which we think will prove to be a significant day for many of you. That the dynamics of energy that are occurring in your world right now, the clashes of adolescent black and white, those that would control and those that seek freedom, those that wish to have fairness and those that wish to retain what they have. In fact, the energies of divide and conquer, the energies of splitting people into different groups has worked tremendously well, and in fact has been a major motivation for the whole movement of earthly humanity right now. And it is, if you look at the dynamic, it is, what is it right now? It's the cops against the blacks, against the whites, against this, against that, and it's anger and it's rage. Certainly, that is a dynamic that has built up over the years. Certainly, you are experiencing a culmination of energy that has been building up for the last 50, 60 years anyway, and certainly can be traced back way before that. So please understand that as far as the dynamics of understanding manifestation and understanding how things work, that this is exactly what has been intended. And the movement of earthly humanity right now is bringing you up against those things, those, what shall we say, untruths that have led your world forward to this point. And yet, so much is being revealed, so many truths are being revealed, that it is that for those of you that are paying attention, because please understand that there are many in your world that are not paying attention. And it's those people that are, what shall we say, being most affected by the dynamic. That is those people that are going to be, what's the spiritual term, gobsmacked by the dynamics of their reality. So if you are awake and you are aware and you are looking around you, and it is to those of you that we speak, we wish you to understand that there is a certain perspective to be gained from this whole dynamic of movement that is becoming more and more apparent and will become more and more apparent over these next couple of weeks, over these next couple of hours, over these next couple of days, that so many of you are going to know that the movement here is leading you all to a place where you are going to be encouraged by so many things in your reality. You're going to be encouraged to either move more into isolation, more into the dynamic of me, more trying to protect yourself, more moving into fear, more moving into rage, more moving into pain, or you're going to have an understanding and begin to celebrate the changes and begin to understand that this movement has been preceded by 50 plus years of beliefs and judgments, of 50 plus years of worldviews that have led to this dynamic. Now, remember, we have often said you either create your reality or you allow your reality. And the greatest trick that has been done to you is to have you give up your responsibility. your personal responsibility for creating your reality. So, life, the dynamic of movement through the duality, is forcing you, is pushing you. Just as soul pushes you through the dynamic of facing those things in your life that you have chosen to face, so too, as a humanity, are you facing these dynamics now. Caring, connection, compassion. But how to do that through strength? They tell you that if you care, that you're weak. They tell you if you are compassionate, you are foolish. They tell you that if you are connected, you're in a cult, or you are a communist, or you are a socialist, or you are this, or you are that. Last week we made a statement that we were a racist, a human racist. And we would have wished that many of you who have begun to view these videos will begin to consider that for yourselves. To begin to consider removing the divisions. To begin to consider that this is exactly the dynamic of an energetic pendulum swing that has reached its apex and is now beginning to move in the other direction. But will you allow yourself to be swept in the direction of the pendulum? Or will you begin to allow yourself to realize that there are other choices? That there are choices for you, but that it is entirely up to you. Will you begin to put down the false barriers that you erect between yourselves? It's ultimately up to you. Will you begin to understand that you are all connected at the heart level? Black, white, brown, intelligent, stupid. It matters not. Red, every human being on the planet is energetically connected. And so, here we are speaking to you, only wishing to give you an understanding. Telling you that you need to understand that those things that you are facing personally are those things that stand between you and identification of yourself. Are you in it for you? Or are you all in it together? There is a place. This is the paradox, is it not? There is a place for the understanding that earthly humanity has moved to a level of individuation and understanding that has been tremendous. And in fact, the technological leaps forward of the past 150 years have, if you just measure that within the previous 150 years, have been magical, have been phenomenal. But your idea of yourselves and who you really are have not really changed in that 150 years. And so, yes, there are other influences in your world that have taken advantage of your, what shall we say, ignorance. You're not stupid. You just don't know. You have been taught to listen to others, You have been taught to abdicate personal responsibility. You are products of your environment. Well, you have reached the end of that chain, let us say, and your reality is changing around you. How will you respond? Who will you be? We know who you are. Will you discover it yourself? Will you discover that divine spark within? Will you understand that that is the connection to your realness? Beyond any religion, beyond anything other than a personal knowing, a personal understanding. Will you look within your heart for your connection, or will you be driven farther and farther away from each other through the dynamics of fear, through the dynamics of rage, through the dynamics of hurt and injustice? We are SOTU, and this is SOTUesday for the 12th of July, 2016. We love you all so very, very much. Celebrate the changes, dear ones. And so until the next time we close, sending you peace, sending you happiness, sending you joy.